our intuition, the universe. So that should be the mantra for this season, trusting the universe, giving the less than zero to the universe and going on and going out upon our day. And the moon is our internal realm of emotions. It is our inner baby and how we nurture our feelings or not. It's what makes us feel safe, loved, nurtured, the holy grail. It's setting our foundation. And the moon being in its home sign, a watery nature, the field of Cancer, all of this is being magnified. So you may feel as if it's time to retreat, seeking that inner solitude, taking time, taking space to really connect to the realm of spirit. We often return by default to our comfort zones, the familiar, those familiar feelings. But we're getting the push to move forward from spirit, the universe, source, God, the great spirit, whatever resonates with you and through you, because it's all about the resonation. Resonating to take an action. It's as if we're musing with Creator, receiving the cosmic liquid courage, the nectar of the gods, that we need to move forward with our dreams. And honestly, there is no time like the present to be bold, being aligned with our soul garden, setting those intentions, having a heart-to-heart with the universe, the cosmic highway.
With that, welcome, InShalla and Ashe. Are you ready for Amusing Monday? I love to muse, just saying. Staying curious and questioning everything. That's kind of what I do. But we've been feeling the waters of our emotional foundation inside of us, being that we are in the field of emotion. Our Sacral Energy Center is online for the entire season of the moon. So listening to our feelings through the channel of our heart, our inner chalice. Our feelings are our inner guidance center. Our bodies show us where we may or may not be feeling it. So we get sigils from our bodies. We get telltale signs. We get messages. And on the airwaves, coming soon, I'm just putting this out there on the highway, I'm creating the Witcher's Way to Manifestation. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my Musing newsletter, I would actually highly recommend that you do. This is going to be like a universal way to manifest with our heart's chalice and Creator to live our soul's purpose. And also on this week's menu, we have the Mists of a New Moon in Cancer. So the Musing Moon meditation is out on the highway, and this new moon has a cosmic stellium happening as well with Spirit. Spirit is Creator energy. Spirit is attuning to our prime directive, our soul's harmonic. So where does this come from? So Creator, Source, Divine, the Great Spirit, etc., whatever you want to call it, the juju, the woo-woo. But we are between feelings today, between our thoughts and feelings and what feels we begin to attract. Being between these worlds and these frequencies, it's in our chalice. It's in our inner heart space, our inner world, heart-centric. So where we are feeling the threads of our inside voice, the voice inside of us. So if these thoughts are less than loving to the chalice, that's a message that we need to recalibrate. Our feelings are the sauce, the magic sauce in a way, the main ingredient, actually, all of the time. The moon, the goddess herself, is always moving through the chalice during each season of the sun. But being that she's in her home station, it's elevated. Our emotions may feel super juicy. So as we begin to connect our thoughts to the chalice, our heart center assists us. It guides us, guiding us to an emotional grounded foundation that's then supported by them, supporting us. And in doing so, we then create a system of support, a support system of our own inner emotional foundation. So that allows us to feel free from entanglements that are less than or being judgy, or even in love in aspect. So if the bubbling spring that comes to the surface are thoughts that are entangled in that web, our emotional foundation starts to erode or corrode or dissipates. And we then start the sensation of creating an unsafe foundation, an unsafe place. So these thoughts are being kind of dismissed, kind of sent out to recess today, if you will. And the intention is truly to only allow loving thoughts into our chalice, into our heart center, our inner heart, because we have a high heart, a middle heart, and a low heart, but it's that inner sacred geometry, I guess. And in doing so, we then overcome them with a higher quality sensation, being sensual, and it's easier to flick the less than voice inside of us away, the less than elevating way of feeling. So with the moon, the goddess herself in Gemini, the season of the mind, we do have the ability to transform them, to bring them out, a bright side of them, lighting them up, to really support us instead of eroding or ripping the rug out of our emotional foundation. So with that, welcome to the Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host. I am a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, a subtle energetic surgeon, but I do go with the term holistic Sha'Medium, just merging them all together. But my intention is to utilize the power of indigenous technologies, the elemental realms, your original divine blueprint to navigate your soul's harmonic through the realms of the elements, the elementals, into the etheric highway, the imaginal realm, and so much more through what I call the shamanic portal, the cosmos, subtle energies, really all the juicy sauce, with offerings, prescriptions, and rituals to add to your own container, those ingredients, your personal medicine, your prime directive, assisting you in and through to navigate your inner genius, your personal medicine, the star that I authentically believe we all are. Just reintroducing you to the magical being, your greatest asset that resides within. So your inner light beacons brighter. And again, my name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room on this Musing Monday. So the moon being in Gemini, as we start to climb into our emotional essence of this moon, our mind really starts to send waves of feelings filtering inside of us, more so than any other day. This is kind of a double wonker, I should say. And the Gemini moons, if you have a Gemini moon, you tend to talk about your feelings. So if you know somebody that has a Gemini moon, you kind of need to know that they need to have a conversation to get in touch with what they feel. So they want to talk about it. So these waves may become amplified. So if this is you today with the moon in the season of the mind, be in your observation station and just watch in your mind's eye, watch how these thought patterns kind of establish or are creating emotional patterns in your inner world. You may feel like journaling, having that inner conversation that's happening inside of you to get them outside of you about who you are. And sometimes it feels like there's mutiny on your ship, right? Like a pirate ship, you have mutiny against the captain. That's kind of what it looks like. But the inner voice is either creating positivity, it's either in the zone of neutrality, or it's in the cosmic loop of negativity. And what that does is it really dries out our cup, our chalice. It's like having a dry riverbed. So observing those thought patterns and just paying attention to how the thoughts are affecting your mood today of what's streaming in, how we feel about ourselves and our inner world inside of us. So yeah. So if you have yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Authentically Heartfelt, please do. Again, Tonya D, all things Tonya D, right? But go ahead and hit the bell button so you're notified, and also comment and share. That's not only going to get you a message for your day, which is super juicy, right? To get you on your way, being that it's Monday, it'd be awesome. But it also assists with the algorithm to echo me out to like-minded musers in the galactic universe, like yourself, who may also muse about insights of the other world, the world of spirit, source, beings that are otherworldly, elemental, and so much more. It really is the imaginal realm. But you can also find me on other social platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and my Musing with Tonya D podcast. And, you know, if your soul wishes to really dive deeper into the realms of the other world, really head on over to my Musing Corridor. This is my digital library in the sky, where you have some amazing options and offers to assist you, to guide you. I really am your shamanic assistant. I truly believe we are all our own healers, but sometimes we need an otherworldly perspective to show us a different way of looking at things. And I'm not going to lie, mine are pretty otherworldly, just saying. And with that, just a few announcements if you're new to my show. Secrets of the Otherworld is open as an offering, but this offer ends midnight, June 30th. So if you're ready to answer the call, a different approach to utilize your intuition and your psychic abilities, it's an amazing offer. And it also has Voices of the Otherworld as a follow-up. You can also enjoy after you dive into this one. Plus, you get to muse with me in my private venue. And also, the first Sunday of the month, I do hold a meditation circle, an otherworldly meditation circle at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, sometimes at 11:11. That's kind of my goal time, if you will. And you could register at club.tony.tv/energetic-cleanse, I believe. The link's in my show notes. But if you're feeling the feels, sharing the love, subscribe to my musing newsletter. So insights literally will land right inside your inbox. There's always that option as well. I also do one-on-one otherworldly coaching, if you will, Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays through Zoom. So if you're needing an otherworldly perspective, we have a coagulation with ideas flowing through today. That's kind of how I woke up. So this coagulation, again, between feelings and our mind, it's kind of a double dose, if you will, of both the blue pill and the red pill. Just saying. So if you're beginning to start to raise your thought vibration about your feelings, or maybe what your mind is even saying about when we're like feeling something. Feelings come in this ebb and flow of the moon today, especially with the mind. It's like treading waters. So you may get insights if your mind shuts down a feeling, distracting you from a feeling, or even tries to say something different about a feeling, like it doesn't exist. Feelings never lie, right? But our mind is a messenger, not really the Holy Grail ever. So it's a day to be mindful of what we are feeling inside of us, inside of our beingness. Thoughts should be ones that really make us feel elevated, brighter, lighter, universal, galactic, the star that we are. So being that we are in the phase of a new moon, a Cancer new moon, and for those of you that have the season of the moon in your 11th house in your natal chart, or also your solar, this is where the new moon wishes become elevated. So they have like a wizarding effect, like a wizard, for the whole year. So that's something just to be aware of. And also we do have this cosmic stellium. Besides having the sun and the moon, we also have a spiritual acumen with our mind opening up to spirit. We also have an act. We can act on a new belief or establish a new belief inside of us, a new spiritual belief that we can act upon, resonates with us, a new character, behavior in our spiritual acumen. We also have a elevated action of being mindful of our feelings when we do act that are also in alignment with spirit. And not all, we also have the intensity of spirit creator sending us a beacon of new spiritual thoughts and feelings. And that is galactic otherworldly. It's dreams, intuition, verbal intuition. So you might have a spirit guide literally come in, an ancestor. So I would say definitely connect your heart to spirit, your inner heart to the galactic core in that processing station. And also your feelings, spirit-induced feelings. Place all others on the altar, the divine altar, and allow spirit to transform them. So we have 6 planets, 6 energies at this heaven's degree, if you will, or the spiritual hall of fame, including Neptune at the outer world and Mars and its outer sphere. So we've got a lot of master spirit in its home sign, actually. There's a lot of energy for spirit here. So spirit is behind us, streaming, literally streaming behind us, kind of pushing us, pulling us to a new platform, a new inner belief about ourselves to take an action on, along with the ability to act in the outer world in alignment with what we spiritually believe. Not the outer world. This is our inner spirit acumen, right? Not what people are telling us spirit is. So if what I say don't resonate with you, just flick this shift away. So it's even as if we are being mindful of what we're going to open up to and receiving into the chalice, our heart's chalice, through spirit. And then how we feel about it. So if the chalice is marinating in the juices of it, all the ingredients are like filling us up to the brim. You're not sure what that looks like. Sometimes I talk really fast, I know. But take the Change Your Stars quiz if you're uncertain. It's all about psychic abilities and intuitive gifts. This new moon is about our intuition channel through our feelings. So this is what Change Your Stars was all about and is all about. It's our intuition, our psychic abilities. It's our ability to tune into the divine, our creator support system. So with that, as far as the messages, I'm going to go with cosmic insights for today. Just telling you, it's super saucy, So we have options, which I always appreciate options. So we got sigils. I'm going with the sigils of light languages for the messages. So who do you see? I prefer to take a breath and a pause. I have to ground myself through breath work. I am a Gemini. But comment what's resonating for you. It's the sound system of crystal bowls. Who has crystal bowls? I do have a few. Go figure, right? Clear quartz crystals or a drum. I should really bring my drum out again, but it's from the reindeer shaman. She's a beauty. She's a fire drum from Mongolia. The West Taiga is where she was gifted. So after you comment what you're choosing here, let's go onto the elemental highway. Here we go. A Yin Metal, or Xin is the name. Yin Metal Pig. That's hilarious. I crack myself up sometimes. So we have a Yin Metal day with a pig on the branch, a Xin Hai of a day. Sounds juicy, right? I think they're always juicy, but it's all perspective. But this is refining metal, refining our thoughts even. So we have all of the elements here. The earth's hidden, it's in storage. And the pig and the tiger, they're playful mates. So this is really great, really. You may be feeling it. I felt it. It did, whatever. But we have the birth of wood. And we also have the birth of fire in the pig and the tiger. So we're birthing of new ideas, birthing of new actions to take. And fire is highlighted. So our day itself, the Yin Metal, is very frail. It's kind of puny. It's like being impotent, delicate, if you will. It's a force. So fire is strong. The earth is so dry that it's not able to produce any metal. That's why our day is on shaky ground. The yang water in the air, that's polishing up our day, balancing the heat. And so is the pig as well. So the fire is so strong that our day may become melted. So it's kind of in danger of it. But the waters, the two waters, the pig and the big water, they're kind of protection. So even though the earth is support or resource for Yin Metal, it has to be wet earth, a different kind of earth. Like I said, earth is a transitional element. So different elements play different values in the day. So it's like watering the soil and more of mineral or metal. So if you were part of the Rising of the Origins, my 5-day immersion, you do have some insight on the elemental realm and also in Change Your Stars. I feel as if the elemental realm is a huge part of us in the physical world. Connecting to the spirits of these elementals assists us in a variety of ways if we're open to them, these otherworldly assets that they are. But with our super talent of the day is actually the performer. So this comes from the year, the ancestor realm, our family lineage. It's our outer rims, if you will. But what is a performing God? So this is people born with this God. They're natural performers. They love the stage, the limelight. I kind of see this as motivational speakers too, people that uplift the spirit, actors, artists, politicians. And like all super gods, right? There's two sides of the same coin. So you may be feeling a little extroverted today, ready to come out onto the life stage, the stage of life, get some inspiration, being inspirited, stuff like that. So our choices of the day, here we go. You ready? Because they're juicy. We've got the drum, clear quartz crystals, and what we have sounding bowls. So quartz carries sound too, right? So it's kind of a sound off kind of a day. Drums connecting to the lower harmonics of the earth, opens portals, sound baths, crystals, the higher octave harmonics sound, right? Also works with an energetic center as well. So who chose the drum? The drum, sorry, my picture's not the greatest, but sometimes it is what it is. The drum, though, you have streaming in the Orion belt. This is releasing of the mental body dominance. And I think we're in this organically already, but the Orions are the most powerful, dramatic transformation of all the otherworldly beings. I would say the races of the otherworld. It's kind of like the Star Wars sagas that was inspired by the Orions, going from a deep-seated pain and separation to finding resolve, redemption, and connection with, a lot of the dramas and traumas on the earth plane are our soul experiencing the healing from these experiences. So, I mean, we just experienced an energetic hiccup in the divine feminine, right? So I say, give that shift to the creator, send it to the timeline that it actually came from, and return the way back to where it came from, releasing that overwhelm, if that makes sense. And light up the star that we all are. So there is a bounty in the field of energetics, the quantum entanglements put on humanity by the laws of man. I always go to the other realm, the other world, an entire different place at a different round table, if you will. So return that shift, go to nature. The fierce protectors, the Wetames, the beings of nature. But at the core of the Orion experience was this powerlessness of victimhood and shame. So I do find it curious that I grabbed this card today. Actually, they fly out. But it's this domination and harm that's being magnified. And within this information lies a deeper truth that really expounds all of life if we're willing to get on the mountain and look at a different perspective. Through free will of choice and unconditional compassion, it's universal flow that initiates new creation. And it's also the catalyst of change that is very powerful. So we then have the courage to heal, assisting humanity to grow into natural connection, elevating all of life, all of it, including nature, animals, not just humans, otherworldly assets, and being, it's kind of like a web, is kind of what I'm seeing. It's so crazy. But we as humans, we often resist the painful energies, right? But what we resist always persists. We resist them if they're in our direct path to improvement. It's like when we aerate the soil and then it becomes ripe for growth and planting new seeds. So this energy is one of becoming a clear vessel, a clear vehicle for the joy and creation of life, our own personal life. It's the energy of releasing, transforming, and it works profoundly. It's intense. It works in an intense way that we can own our own personal empowerment, allowing our divine nature to bloom and blossom, expanding our potentials, those unlimited potentials, expansion, right? That's the next step in the process of ascension. So the result of our innate courage and being clarity about our purpose. So life really is supporting us towards growth, evolution. The message here is to expand our heart mind, that connection. It's kind of funny because that's the frequency of today, right? That's interesting. Feelings as well. Our brain is kind of a machine, a magnificent machine, but it's usually our linear processing system, our analyzer. And the brain has kind of two functions of the brain. The mind, it's our conscious thoughts or our subconscious habits and beliefs, and our automatic body processor, subtle data about our surroundings. Our subconscious mind, it's always processing finite little billions of little particles, waves, and information all the time, but only relaying the information to our conscious mind that determines if it's important based on our belief system. So it's a whole thing going on. But our mental mind is only able to process known information. So we lose a lot of the vast information that our intuition and our emotional guidance provides. So as a balanced being, it's like using our intuition, our emotional guidance, and logic valuable, those assets. So it's opening to the power of our heart-mind unity, which if you listen to my Singers of the Realms and the unity, that's kind of where it all begins. That's what healed the experience of the Orion. So the message here is to soften our mental usage into healthy flow of being heart-mind unified. So it's this balance that transcends the fear and assists us to understand our infinite nature, our inner world. And then we begin to see ourselves in all of creation, ending the separation that really harms us while still maintaining and having an understanding, an intellectual understanding of sovereign form taking shape in this realm. So the language of this card that's initiating, relaxing our mind as we open up our infinite heart and all those possibilities. So it's helping us to find a new perspective that really serves our innate expansion, shifting our thoughts of negativity, the negative mindset, looping into improvement that we believe we can honor. So if you can't shift your perspective with a concerted effort, I'm kind of seeing the opera dude, the conductor. Ask what you need, right? To learn to move to pass it and embrace those emotions, utilize them as effective tools that they really are. Sometimes they distract our mind until we can relax more. So it's kind of interesting, isn't it? The mind is a tool. The challenge truly is our heart and shifting our beliefs that create the condition as we ask our mind what it believes and just observe the flow of our feelings. Does that make sense? So, who chose the clear quartz crystals? Here we've got hopelessness. Don't feel hopeless. It ends well, I promise. This too is from the orang releasing hopelessness. That's kind of what this feels like, right? Hopelessness. But hope is a state of movement that really moves us, pulls us towards improving ourselves. It's not just an optimist drug, if you will, the optimistic venue. It really is an emotion that's vital with our having a healthy psyche. So hope is the promise of the improvement. It's this pull of life that we all go through. And the challenges often that we face, it's bringing us an opportunity, an offering for strengthening that. So hope really is providing us with the inspiration, the inspiritedness to move forward, even if sometimes, you know, we do need to stop, we do need to grieve, we do need to rest, we need to seek and be open to new perspectives. So in their experience, the Orions, they really found hope that really pulled them through the dark shadows, those dark times to heal what was seen as separation and suppression. Kind of the frequency has been out there on the airways, but it's the heart that allows hope to enter our experience. Then the brain helps us choose our future. So nurturing our heart as it releases fear and pulls us, compels us towards joy, the joy molecules, then we have the empowerment that we have inside of us inherently. So within each and every one of us is this power that's invisible and tangible, profound. It's kind of like a nuclear capability within an atom. So do you ever see us, human beings, actually all things, as finite little atoms moving around, particles and waves and little quartz? So it's our love, it's our inner love garden, loving ourselves as Creator does. So the message is really reminding us that the way past something is going through it, streaming right through it. So it takes courage sometimes to embrace our own inner hopelessness. But on the other side of that coin, that's the result of how we release it, having faith, inner faith, outer faith, that we are capable, allowing hopelessness to resolve through the blessings of time. And the language is igniting our spark of hope that keeps us moving forward. It's soothing those fears that have made us feel maybe inadequate to create the joy molecules, the joy in our everyday life. So it's time to kind of examine our fears. Fears are false evidence affecting our reality, and determine what's no longer true for each and every one of us at this moment, and accept it without having to immediately, like instantaneously, right? Figure out the how and the whens of the future. Just know that this too shall pass, and be patient. There's a lot of healing going on behind the scenes in the other world, in the unseen, the intangibles. That's kind of what this feels like. You need hope and help you. Hope comes from inside. Have faith. I go to my faith channel a lot, holding the faith. Okay, so who chose sounding bowls? Crystal sounding bowls. Can you feel or see a sound bath happening? I can. It feels great. My mind's eye, soothing the outer auric field and all. But you get healing from the Syrian initiation. The Syrians, they've had this deeper connection to humanity. They were kind of known as the DNA genesis. They help structure our DNA in magical ways. There's a lot of information about the destruction of human DNA, but there's also a deeper story that resides between the lines of fear and the linearities of the mind. And the Syrians knew this very well. But our DNA has this built-in evolution into its how it functions. So the Syrians involved it into this mental and emotional balance of the mind and the emotions. So they see this bigger, broader picture, and it doesn't lose equilibrium from the emotional turbulence. They're in the zone of neutrality, being neutral, being centered. So they create with the long term in mind, And in doing so, in the present moment, that's the pure catalyst of new creation. To me, it looks like white light. But this soothes, bring in white light into the heart, into the flowing waters of the heart, the deep waters, the depth of the waters of understanding and building upon the energy of the Lyran. So this is about initiation, because when we focus, like the Sirens, focus towards change and progress, what's deep-seated universal information with the energy of the Lyrans becomes this potential, this infinite potential birthing through being focused and action of the energy of the Sirens. So it's like creates a wave. Just like a flower opens to reveal the beauty, the blessing of the blossom, we're initiating this great change on Earth as well. So this is our desires blossoming in our day-to-day reality. So change often means releasing that which previously felt safe to maintain. So it's kind of the next step in our creative process, our creativity, which is our active interchange. So, we are like nature, whether we realize it or not. We are always changing, transforming, shifting. If not, our cell dynamic would literally die. And that's when dis-ease sets in. We lose our soul's harmonic. That's just how I see that. That's just my opinion. But the Sirians, they're assisting our evolution. They're initiating mental and emotional balance and maintaining our focus on these potentials that are birthing through us. Creativity bursts through. So this opens us up to our ancient wisdom, the core of our wisdom, that then evolves as we begin using universal laws of creation, the channel I subscribe to, the laws of spirit world, not the laws of man. But healing, the Sirian initiation of healing on all levels in powerful, magical ways. Healing really is a natural flow of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So we have this equilibrium being stable between all these interdependent elements, and just knowing that all of these aspects of our health are vitally important. So how do we do we utilize it, knowing this? So spiritual healing allows the natural current of timeless, infinite love to flow into our experience. So love, connection to love, the power of love, not the love of power, two different frequencies. Where healthy emotional flow is another vital vibration, right? The waves. So suppressing or spewing emotion really can cause further harm. Mental healing utilizes our intellect to discover and be open to new opportunities. I always say, stay curious, question everything. And we create physical healing when we develop positive habits that really support our bodies, the natural regenerative cycle and process, body, mind, spirit, soul. So this is a message that we must stop doing what has caused the imbalance and open up to a process that's going to facilitate our improvement, our growth, naturally, organically. So how can we shift our current state? Through loving, spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical responsibilities and awareness. How can we do that? Authentically knowing that we are all capable of healing ourselves. We're also benefited with the skill of assisting others. We then discover, open the door, we have answers within ourselves as we move through a journey, our own personal journey of healing. So our intention to heal is where it all begins. And the language of light in the card, that's assisting our flow to balance within ourselves. So change comes from a neutral foundation within us for healthy improvement, the Earth Star. So it's helping us to soothe our fears and resistance to our own inner transformation. So if you did pick this card, I would maybe suggest seek help from a professional or open your path up as a healer, being open to that as well, if that is your journey, and just utilizing each the physical and the emotional challenges as an opportunity, right? Those energetic hiccups are opportunities to expand into galactic habits where we can improve our natural growth in alignment. It's like healer, heal thyself, to thy old self be true kind of a thing. So, what do you feel or sense the messages of the day, the elements and the cosmos are bringing in? So knowing that our mind is this hypergate tool, being mindful of our feelings, are they ours or the others, somebody outside of us? What do you think about your feelings, or what do you say in your head about them? Minding the fields, the garden. So I find that when an unintended thought streams to my feelings, I either muse about it or I flick it away. I don't give it time or space. the thought, not the feels. Feelings do need time and space. They do need to be felt. The way we think about ourselves, what we think about ourselves to be true, it either builds our solar plexus, our self-esteem, our soul credit, or it swipes the debit card and puts us in debt, breaking us down where we are emotionally bankrupt and having a bankrupt mind, which is a thing. I would say go otherworldly and establish a new breakthrough in what you think about it, building up your self-esteem, your credit in the other world. The world is kind of egocentric when it comes to credit, like a physical credit score is more important than an otherworldly one. Just a thought. So why would we allow the earth realm, the realm of man, to give us a credit score? So I feel my emotional credit score, if you will. Great. And my spiritual credit score, it's having conversations with source, the power of love. It's all perspective. So just raising our vibration upwards to the galaxy, source, creator, knows. And if we make a mess down here, our lineage, if we don't clean it up, then becomes the janitor. It's a thing. That's why ancestors are an important thing to cleanse the lineage. So with all of that, just be positive, thought forms, affirmations, add feelings to your thoughts. That's like an adjective, love in action. So where does one belong? Love it or leave it? Myself, creating a loving feeling, an attitude, a new one about belonging, where does my heart belong and how do I feel about it? Then what does the tool, the mind, think about the feeling? So it's this processor that gets feelings going. So get the feels off, out of the closet, the wardrobe, remove the old feels. That's why it's great to cleanse the closet out, because you have a feel. Clothes, things carry frequency, vibration, right? So just upcycle them, introduce yourself to a new way of feeling, journal them, talk to a friend who's non-judgmental, maybe a listening coach. So when we start to put words to our feelings, we then become clear. We get clarity on what or what they are emoting. So it really is the ebb and the flow of emotions and the mind online doing this double dance, if you will, kind of like the cha-cha. So we have a few things online today. We have our sacral, the chalice of our emotions. We have our heart, the feeling heart. We also have the solar plexus. And we also have the throat online, our verbal intuition, our hearing system. So we have options. I think a sound bath would be great. Light therapy would also be awesome. Crystal gritting or stones, creating sacred geometry with nature. We have options. Be creative. And spiritual truths, expressing our spiritual truths, setting our new moon intentions too. If you do have Virgo rising, you have some granddaddy wishes. And also if you have a Virgo sun sign, the moon is threading in the house of wishes and dreams. And if you are a Cancer, you are the goddess of the moon, feeling the feels. Feelings never lie, right? So you are probably on an emotional empath in an area where the sun is in your chart. Emotional foundation is really a thing. Hearth, home, family, nurturing. But you need to nurture yourself first, because you may send airwaves of emotions to the field around you if you're not. So it's just like spidey senses, paying attention to those softer spots. It's time to call in the divine for some spiritual intervention, if you will. It's between the cusp. It's on the horizon between the realms, releasing lower vibrational thoughts to spirit. You may have received a download from the realm of spirit today, the other world, dream space, something spiritually induced. I know I did. You may receive an energetic hiccup, just cleansing the karmic threadings. So the universe is truly supporting us to move forward on our path of transformation. It might be echoing it out, actually. The action we take, it's like put your left hand on your heart and just simply ask spirit to open your heart to receive any feelings that may hinder your growth, and then place them energetically on the altar in the universe, transforming them to the juice of love in our own chalice, our container. So we're flowing with divine love. The great spirit could be an ancestor that may show up as well. So there's all kinds of otherworldly signs if we're open to paying attention. So we have some options. So if you wish to utilize your voice, the seed sound of hum, these are all in my show notes, along kind of like humming like a hummingbird, if you will. If you need to boost your self-esteem and recalibrate your thought channel, the solar plexus, the room like the pirate's room, sound. You could chant that all day. Or if your emotional foundation feels off, the Voom channel, it's like vooming around the sacral. So we've got some options. And I also felt called to create a stone sigil, an offering out in nature. Metal, we need metal today, and mineral. So you could also create a sigil in the waters, if you will, which combines the wet earth that we need and the stone. So we have options. So I would affirm I am open to receive divine messages that are reflective of my own heart, divine intervention. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying intervention. That's kind of what it is. It's the voice of our chalice. So be kind to yourself, be compassionate, and be super juicy in the inside. Open up to love incarnate. And with all of that, InShalla and Ashe. And as always, I will see you on the other side. Blessings.